Goddesses and gods gather around. Welcome to Mythology and Makeup. I'm Vanessa, and I'm thrilled to share my passion of mythology with you while I get ready for the day. Let's uncover the fascinating stories of mythology together, from Athena's wisdom to the captivating stories in the muses and everything in between. So grab your brushes and a mirror, and let's unleash the beauty and magic within. Happy Saturday, everyone, and welcome back to another mythology dive. If you love uncovering the world of the wild, dramatic, and sometimes completely unhinged stories of the ancient world, well, you're definitely in the right place. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now down below so you never miss an episode. This channel is shaped by you. So let's keep the inspiration flowing. If you have any specific requests for upcoming artistic makeup looks or a particular mythological story you have been dying to hear, drop them down below in the comments because I read every single one. Last week we covered Freya, Frey, and Nord. So let's jump back into the world of the ancient Norse people and learn a little bit more. We've all heard the fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty, the cursed princess pricked by a spindle, waiting for a prince's kiss. But the original Norse version of this story is way more hardcore. The princess was actually a rebellious, armor-clad warrior woman. The spindle was a toxic sleeping thorn. Why is my foundation feeling like, oh, I didn't put the cap back on it. Maybe that's why. Not my foundation, my primer. Maybe that's why it's feeling all weird. Also, sometimes I don't really like this one, but we're working with it. We're working with it. Stabbed into her by Odin himself. And her savior didn't kiss her. He used his legendary sword to cut through the chainmail that had literally fused itself to her skin. Yeah. This is the brutal reality of the Valkyries. Odin's shielded maidens who decided who lived, who died, and who got the one-way ticket to the ultimate warrior afterlife. Their name literally translates to choosers of the slain. Born of noble blood, the daughters of kings, gods, the Valkyries had two main jobs. First, they flew directly into the chaos of human warfare, using supernatural powers to rig the battlefield in favor of whoever Odin wanted to win. Okay, so they're just doing Odin's bidding, you know? Second, they would gather up the souls of the bravest warriors who died in battle and carry them to the Valhalla. I believe I am saying that correctly. Valhalla. These dead soldiers became Odin's personal army, designated to fight alongside him during Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Oh, I guess I can say it this week because the last couple weeks I haven't had an issue saying it. Because Odin needed this army to be as massive as possible, he and his Valkyries would purposely stir up some trouble on Earth just to harvest more souls. They were just like, yeah. Oh, they're having a peaceful time? Not anymore. Odin needs more souls. More fighters. But when they weren't manipulating human history or collecting bodies, they served as the ultimate hostess and pouring endless horns of mead and beer for the dead while they waited for the apocalypse. So they would throw parties, have fun, and also make the humans fight each other so Odin can have his little army. Because they interacted so often with humanity, they often became lovers of the epic human heroes. That brings us to the story of the dragon slayer Sigurd. Sigurd. See, after killing a dragon and taking all of its treasure, apparently he didn't turn into a dragon. I guess that's not in everything. Not everything is the same about dragons. So, after he took all the treasure, he saw a mysterious fortress glowing on top of a mountain. Inside, he found a soldier in full armor, just sleeping. When he pulled off the helmet of the said soldier, he realized that it was a woman. Her chainmail armor was laced so tightly that it was almost growing into her skin. So he took his magic sword, Graham, and carefully sliced the armor off of her body, and instantly the spell broke, and the warrior awoke and introduced herself. She handed him a drinking horn full of mead. Where did my little mirror go? There it is. I need... and explained exactly why she had been trapped on that mountain. See, she dared to defy Odin, and that doesn't go very well, okay? The Allfather had promised victory to an old king, but she decided that she would use her powers to kill that king instead, giving the win to a young warrior that she preferred. Okay? And, Odin's revenge was pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. He stripped her of her freedom, declaring that she must marry a mortal. But she fought back, swearing an oath that she would only marry a man who knew absolutely no fear. Not any fear at all, okay? So Odin pricked her with a magical sleeping horn, locking her into a deep slumber until the fearless hero finally crossed the flames to find her. The Valkyrie to teach him her wisdom. See, the Valkyries were so deeply connected to Odin that she just didn't give him life advice. She taught him the secret magic runes of the secret magic of the cosmetic runes. Runes for safety, safe voyage, for healing, and for victory. I feel like that's cute. Cute little bat. Is it giving bat? Is it giving bat eyeliner? because that's what the goal was. That liner. When I have to do like sharp points like this, I feel like my hand shakes so much more than what it normally does. Is going to be trying to get this one to match that one. That's gonna be the fun part. I kind of want these to be a little bit more sharp. Oh my goodness. But then, looking into his future, she realized that his fate was already sealed. She asked him if he still wanted her advice. And of course, you know, he replied that he was no coward and that would face his destiny head on. So she left him with an incredibly intense 8-step survival guide for the Viking Age. Oh, that one's not coming off as easy as the other one did. But I've learned this trick. Take some of your primer. Take a Q-tip. Put a little bit on. This one just has a little bit of foundation on it. It'll do. Put a little bit on the tip of the Q-tip. And then just take it. And wipe it. And looky there. Ta-da! It's like nothing was there. Now we're just going to need to put a little bit more concealer on in that spot that we just took all that makeup off. Where did my... There it is. There should be enough concealer left on the tip of this brush to do what I need to do in that spot. Yep. Looky there. Why is it doing that? It's being very difficult. First, treating your family well and dishonoring them will bring death. Keep your oaths and do not waste time talking to fools. That part is just not working out very well. Down here. It's okay though. It's okay. It'll be okay. If an idiot slanders you, just kill them. Okay, that just slaughter them. Watch out for witches and sorcerers and don't get seduced by a pretty face. Never trust the relatives of the men that you have killed. Avoid drinking too much or you'll get careless. Treat the dead with respect no matter how they died. And finally, avoid evil whenever possible. And that last one, well, she basically just told him, look, you're a great warrior, which means that you're going to fight a lot of battles, so you're probably going to die here soon. Okay. You know? Talk about a comforting goodbye. And honestly, don't talk to fools or kill anyone who slanders you is a wild piece of marriage proposal advice. But that's just how they rolled, you know? That's just how they were like, oh, yeah. I just keep dropping this mirror. I'm going to do my waterline real fast because sometimes it's hard for me to do it on camera. All right. Since I got that done, I'm going to do my other eye really fast and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. So, the Valkyries could tell a hero how he was going to die. But what happened if a deity needed to know what happened after death? Or worse, what if a goddess needed to look back centuries into the past to dig up ancient forbidden family secrets? To do that, the gods had to leave the battlefield entirely and head into the dark underbelly of the realms and rise the oldest, crankiest spirits in all of the Norse lore. See, imagine having a secret so massive, so dangerous that only one person could give you the answers is a dead witch buried deep underground. In Norse mythology, if a god needed to know the future or uncover some dirty piece of gossip, they didn't look up to the skies. They marched into the realm of the dead and cast a dark spell to drag out a Volva. I'm going to put the name right here because Volva, I don't think that's correct at all. Back to life. These were the ultimate prophesists of the Viking world. They just didn't predict the future. They flexed their credentials by dropping ancient trivia, exposing divine scandals, and ruthlessly roasting the gods who dared to wake them up. The word essentially means prophecies. So we're going to just use prophecies. They were the absolute master practitioners of an ancient, I'm going to put the word right here because, said, don't think that's right, powerful form of Norse sorcery. In the Viking society, this magic belonged to strictly women, although Odin famously dabbled in it a little bit too, much to the judgment of the other gods. They're like, bruh, this is a lady's thing, not a man's thing. What are you doing? The main characters in two famous poems, I'm going to put the word right here, Vospa, where Odin wakes up a sorceress to get the terrifying blueprints of Roanoke. Not Roanoke. Yes. Ragnarok. Why do I always want to say Roanoke? I don't know why. I want to say that so bad. And lesser known, wildly chaotic sequel is called, I'm going to put the name here, Volspa in Scamana, or short Volspa. And in the second version, it wasn't Odin doing the waking. It was the goddess of love and war herself, Freya. And she wasn't asking about the apocalypse, no. She was looking for a background check on her human boyfriend. Her lover's name was Otar. And she needed to prove his noble lineage to win a massive inheritance dispute. Well, he did, not her, sorry. Because they're like, you lying. You lying, you lying, you lying. I was about to contour and not conceal at all. So Freya went straight to the dead prophetess, Haida. First, Freya tried the polite approach. She called her friend, sister, and lady, and even suggested they would take a fun little trip to see Odin. But Haida was not having it. She immediately called Freya out and was like, girl, you're lying. You just want something from me, so spill it out. You don't want to be my friend. Ma'am, no. She then pointed down the road and exposed them. She said, your mortal boyfriend is literally hiding right behind you. Freya quickly defended him, bragging about the great temples that he had built for her and the sacrifices that he made for her and all this other crap. Finally, she demanded that Hida read off Otar's complete family tree to prove his worth. She sighed and rolled her dead eyes and started dropping the ultimate genealogical flex. To prove she knew her stuff, she just didn't name his parents. She went back generations, weaving a massive tapestry of Viking history and mythology. She revealed that he was descended from legendary dragon slayers, fierce kings, and noble princesses. I'm just going to use my foundation brush. I really need to find a new concealer brush because this angled brush pisses me off. I need to go to the store and buy a new concealer brush. But then she started dropping Asgard's dirtiest secrets. She detailed the tragic death of Baldur, the problematic marriage of Freyr, and the horrific birth of Loki's monster children. She even hinted at the mysterious, unnamed god who would rise and rule after Odin dies at Ragnarok. It was an incredible display of cosmic knowledge, but Freya had one last favor to ask. She said, hey, can you give my boyfriend a magical memory drink? He needs to remember all of this for his debate with his friend later. But that was the last straw. The sorceress snapped, furious at being used as a walking encyclopedia. She ordered them to leave her cave immediately so she could go back to sleep. She was sleepy. She needed her beauty rest. She screamed at Freya, calling her a promiscuous, lustful thief who ran around Asgard with Odins and mortals alike. Freya, being a powerful goddess herself, fired right back with some terrifying shots, with a terrifying curse. Keep talking, and I will summon a ring of magical fire around your cave so that you may never leave. But the sorceress was like, go ahead. Most living things endure fire and death anyways. Oh, and by the way, that memory drink that I gave your little boyfriend over there was actually poison beer. And Freya she didn't care. She claimed that her divine protection would keep him safe, and the two left. The sorceress closed her eyes, pulled up the dirt like a blanket, and went right back to sleep, waiting for the next annoying god to come back and demand more answers. Like, that would be annoying. Just rudely awoken in your sleep to answer these questions that these annoying ass gods have. That would be a terrible job. Whether it was a dead witch sorting out an inheritance or a Valkyrie selecting brave souls for an apocalypse, humanity was constantly under a microscope of Asgard. But none of these supernatural entities would have even a playground to meddle in if it weren't for the divine guard standing watch at the edge of heaven. Now I can contour. The man who locks down the bridge between the worlds and who actually built the very framework of the human society from scratch. See, imagine having a security guard who can see 100 leagues into the dark, hear grass literally growing on Earth from millions of miles away, and he never needed to sleep. In Asgard, this wasn't a super powerful myth. It was just a Tuesday for Heimdall. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Heimdall. He's a tireless watchman of the Norse gods, stationed at the edge of the heaven with a massive horn ready to sound at the alarm for the apocalypse. Where's my big brush? There it is. But behind his golden teeth and his bizarre birth story involving 9 mommies, yeah, that's right, he had 9 moms, he had a little hidden history. He is the secret father of all humanity. And he once went on a magical road trip that decided the entire class structure of the Viking world. Forgot my nose. I always feel like I forget my nose too. But also, I hadn't been contouring for over a year, for a long time. 2 years maybe. I would just put blush on and call it a day. But I was like, but I decided to just start contouring again. Heimdall's name likely means the illuminator of the world. His biology is famously complicated because he was born of 9 different mothers, often described as 9 Jotnar sisters or the personifications of the clashing ocean waves. He lived in a fortress right above Asgard, right at Asgard's side of Bifrost, the Bifrost Rainbow Bridge, called, putting the name up here, and because he was the ultimate protector of the realm, he constantly butt heads with Asgard's ultimate troublemaker, Loki himself. In fact, their rivalry got petty. When Loki disguised himself as a seal to steal Frey's famous necklace, Heimdall didn't hesitate. He also transformed into a seal, swum down, and engaged Loki in an epic flapper-slapping seal fight, and got the jewelry back. Because when Ragnarok finally arrives, these two were destined to kill each other in final combat. But long before the apocalypse, Heimdall took a stroll down to Earth under the alias Rig, and things got a little weird. See, one day he was walking along the seashores in a green robe, and he came across a humble farmhouse with the door just wide open. Inside sat great-grandfather and great-grandmother, I and Edda. They were poor, but they offered him what they had. They offered him rough grain bread and a simple bowl of boiled meat. He stayed for 3 nights, and when it came time for bed, he slept right in the middle, with the husband on one side and the wife on the other. And after giving them some divine counsel, he slept with them. He slept with the girl, okay? He slept with her. he left. And 9 months later, the woman found herself pregnant, and she gave birth to a son and named him Slave. He grew up strong, but he was pretty rough looking. I wonder why it just did a big old patch. He married a woman with sun-baked skin named Slave Woman. They raised a massive family, taught to do the hardest, most unpleasant manual labor, with the names like Hunchback, Fatty. And this lineage became the enslaved class of the Norse society. Rig kept walking on his little venture, you know, ready to find some more people. And he found a second house. Inside were grandfather and grandmother. I'm going to put the names right here. Their home was beautifully furnished. They were well groomed, and they were actively working their trades. Once again, he slept 3 nights in directly between the two. And 9 months later, the woman found herself to be pregnant. Yeah, I'm going to put my lashes on real fast, and I will be right back. All right, I am back. Nine months later, the woman gave birth to a sharp-eyed, red-headed boy named Freeman. The boy grew up to be a successful farmer and craftsman. His parents found him a wealthy bride who wore a wedding veil, and they exchanged rings and built a proper home. Their children had names like Smith, Farmer, Smart Bride, creating the entire middle class of free craftsmen and farmers. Finally, on Rig's little venture, he walked into a massive, luxurious estate. Here he found mother and father. Now I'll put their names here because it literally looks like it says mother and father, but I'll put the spelling here. They were happily holding hands, stringing hunting bows, and wearing fine clothes. They served Rig wine in gemmed goblets and put out a full silver spread. True to form, he spent 3 nights with them, and 9 months later, you guessed it, mother gave birth to a boy wrapped in pure silk named Lord Earl. Earl grew up with blonde hair, bright eyes, and a talent for fighting, riding horses, and reading magical runes. He conquered lands, becoming incredibly wealthy, and married a wise noble man's daughter named Irenia. Maybe that's how you say it. Oh, I almost spilled that everywhere. They had many children, but their youngest son was named King. He had the strength of 8 men. He could speak the language of birds, and eventually he learned so much rune magic that he surpassed Rig himself. He became the first true king, claiming massive inheritance through warfare. By fathering these 3 distinct bloodlines, Heimdall didn't just populate Midgard, he literally hand-coded the social rules, the hierarchies, and expectations into the fabric of the Viking culture. Let me finish on my lips real fast. Put the setting spray on. Alright, that brings us to the end of our video today, guys. Do we like the finished look? It's the first time that I've done bat wing liner, and I think it's pretty freaking cute. I think it looks cute, but I think all my looks look cute, or I wouldn't do them. But, like I said earlier, this channel is shaped by you guys, so leave your comments down below. Give me your guys' feedback, any makeup looks that you guys want to see me do. Leave that comment down below. And if you guys enjoy learning about the ancient world, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will be back next week with another mythological dive. Bye, guys.